I want to address a specific criticism that this movement has had, based around the idea that the AUDL is a business and that a business shouldn't have to answer to people just because it's a private business and it can do what it wants. This is not just consumers of the AUDL product. This is the AUDL's employees. This is the people that the AUDL has put on the field. This is the product. This is people that I would hope that the league would value their opinions. In the same way that any business with employees would, I hope, value the opinions of the people working for them. And at some point, if those two things aren't aligned, an employee doesn't have to keep working for a business if they don't feel like it's either worth their time or in line with their values. And that's what this boycott is to some extent. We're employees of the league. We don't feel like we're being listened to. We don't feel like we have an effective avenue to communicate that about anything, let alone that this specific movement is about gender equity. And we are choosing to take action by saying that we don't want to work for you anymore, or we don't want to participate in this league that isn't in line with our values. That's I think a better way to look at this idea of the AUDL as a business. The other thing is the AUDL is a business, and it's a certain type of business, and I think we should look at what other types of businesses that are similar to the AUDL if we want the AUDL to grow, which I think is a commonly community held idea, that we want the AUDL to help Ultimate grow by being a spectator-driven, for-profit enterprise. Other leagues that are in that same category, a spectator-driven, for-profit enterprise. Let's talk about other sports organizations. Other sports organizations have mechanisms for players to communicate what things that are important to them. They have a voice within the organization somewhere to advocate for these changes. To this point, to my knowledge, the AUDL has no structure for that, has no explicit structure that includes the voice of the players, its employees, to communicate what they want, whether it's about gender equity, whether it's about the myriad of different topics of discussion about how our Ultimate community has talked about the AUDL changing. Right now, there's no explicit avenue for the players to have. There is an implied avenue, and I can say this as someone who's played in the pro leagues for almost every year that they've existed. The avenue that has been made clear to me, or that it has been explained to me, is that if players want to advocate for change, they need to do so through their owners or through their own franchise. All the franchises are separate entities. And so the avenue to communicate to the league office or to advocate for change is to work through your owner. So that's what's been communicated to us, to the players, is that's our method if we have opinions to advocate for change.